Fight lockdown because of our peculiarity, our size of 16,000 square kilometers, and the fact that we're not a metropolitan state. And to that extent, we've continued to give our citizens palliatives. We did the first round of palliatives, word by word, we did for 60,000 households. Each household, by definition, is about 6 people. So that would translate to about 360,000 people. We just started the second round of palliatives to another 80,000 households. So to date, we've done about 900,000 people. Our target is 500,000 households. Of course, this has not come without its own problems. Anytime you are distributing food to the elderly, poor and vulnerable, there's a sense of entitlement, and everybody believes that they're entitled. Of course they're entitled. But the truth is that even the federal government of Nigeria cannot provide palliative to every citizen of the state. However, our promise is that we'll continue to provide for as many people as possible. We decided that our next target will be our youths, because they are also vulnerable. They are not elderly, but many of them are poor and vulnerable. So we decided that we are going to identify about 1,000 youths per local government across the 20 local governments, making 20,000 youths. And we are going to provide palliatives for them. This will be announced in the forthcoming days. To support us, Kabiyesi, you've done something that's very novel. You brought us this equipment, which is state-of-the-art from what we can see. A drone-operated, it looks like a humidifier or vaporizer. It turns this disinfectant into fumes and makes it more effective. We've seen it demonstrated. We've seen the ones coming from this machine, which I understand is locally fabricated. By so doing, you've also empowered, the local economy. We're very impressed that you've looked inwards, you've engaged, research people from the Obafemi Awolowo University to consult with you, provide the chemicals, the know-how. You've put our people together, and this again speaks to what you are made of. Kabiyesi, we are very grateful. Not only do I thank you on behalf of the good people and government of Ogun State, we also engage you so that we can patronize those that have come up with this ingenious work of engineering, so that the state can continue in what we have started. Our Commissioner for Environment is here. As soon as this pandemic broke, we acquired both motorized and mechanical hand sprayers. We've gone around our markets, we've gone around our motor parks, we've fumigated, and it's an ongoing process. But with what we've given us, it's obvious that this would even make for a more effective fumigation of our markets, motor parks, schools, and public places. Kabiyesi, I can't thank you anymore. My prayer is that may the Almighty God continue to grant you divine wisdom. May you live very, very long on the throne of your forefathers. On behalf of the good people of Ogun State and the entire government of this state, wish you journey masses back to the source as you go back. Thank you very much, Kabiyesi.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Kabiyesi. If we just have a photograph with the equipment.
State Prince Dapo Abiodun NFR, Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor, who's been ensuring that the COVID-19 task force indeed are working around the clock. Because the Secretary to the State Government, the Chief of Staff, and all the state so we'd like to officially welcome you to the Gateway State. Kabiyesi, Imperial Majesty, Kabiyesi Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, Kabiyesi, Adé apẹ́ lórí, apẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, ilé Oòduà kò ní dàrú, kò ní bàjẹ́, kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà yìí lágbára Ọlọ́run yóò di àgbáwọlẹ̀ pátápátá. Ní orúkọ gbogbo àwọn ọkọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, òní àti káàbọ̀. But I'd like to officially hand over the microphone to the Secretary to the Ogun State Government to formally welcome you to the Gateway State before hearing from you, Kabiyesi, the reason why you are here today in the Gateway State. At this point, I'll invite the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tuntun Talabi, to officially welcome His Imperial Majesty to the Gateway State.
His Royal Majesty, Imperial Majesty, this is an auspicious occasion when the traditional so without wasting much time, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Gateway State. It is also your state, and then a fruitful deliberation today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, SSG. Ká tó gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá wa Kábíyèsí His Imperial Majesty Ọọ̀ni, ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Péjú Ẹ̀sán káwọn náà bá wa sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹyọ kan àbí méjì kó tó di pé Kábíyèsí wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ ṣé, Professor Ẹ̀sán first. Thank you.
Good afternoon. His Excellency the Governor of Ogun State, His Imperial Majesty, and the Executive of the State, and the gentlemen of press. We're here to present an initiative of the House of Otunba, part of the contribution of His Imperial Majesty to the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the initiative is a motorized modular fumigator, because fumigation is a very integral part of infection prevention and control. The motorized modular fumigator has a cabin which houses a pressurized machine that converts the liquid disinfectant in the tank into fog. Most of the fumigation done is always liquid, but the foggy mechanism is unique in it's highly effective because it retains the disinfectant in the environment for a longer time because it comes as droplets. And we all know that the virus also comes in droplets, so we have to fight it first. And it has been useful in disinfecting public places, that is where people gather, at those schools, could be the marketplaces, it could be also used in hospitals and also our isolation wards that are created. Outside COVID-19 pandemic, this motorized modular fumigator is also useful in the agricultural industry to dispense pesticides and insecticides. Your Excellency, sir, I present to you the motorized modular fumigator, an initiative of the House of Otunba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. So, one more time, we welcome His Imperial Majesty to the Gateway State, and as it is mandatory, we have our own way of introducing our fathers, and that's why I will just beckon on my colleague in a minute or two to officially introduce Kabiyesi's Imperial Majesty. All right, Kabiyesi o, Adé lórí bàtà pẹ́lẹ́sẹ̀, àsìkò yìí ti ń tù wá lára, èyí tẹ́ tó gbé láàrin ọlọ́ àjùṣe o. Ẹ jẹ́ àkàrúpọ̀ ká sọ Kabiyesi tó rinlẹ̀ mẹ́ta fún Ọọ̀ni ti Ilé Ifẹ̀. Ó yá o, Kabiyesi o, Kabiyesi o, Kabiyesi o. His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, Kabiyesi.
Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Chief of Staff, the MCSG, the entire Cabinet of the State, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. Our governor is in a hurry, but I will have taken my time to say a little bit more about him, because I will say it on a lighter note. Our governor is the most handsome governor in Nigeria. Please clap for him now. Whenever you are handsome, he has something in his hand. He has something. And he's been very successful in the private sector. So things like what we brought to him today won't be very strange to him. To the glory of God, God brought him to this highly exalted office as the #1 citizen of Ogun State. So therefore, we need to rally around support to make sure that all is well. We know that coronavirus is real, and for a lot of people that probably think it's not real, it is indeed real. On social media, they're saying, why is only of people wearing facial masks? I have to lead by example to tell the entire world that indeed coronavirus is real and we should all protect ourselves. In this essence of protecting ourselves, we realize that the way they fumigate and sanitize the community space is not that ideal. What we do in terms of sanitizing, we are only focusing on our hands. We are focusing on washing our hands, washing our hands and washing our hands. And this pandemic, which is a common enemy, comes in droplets. It can drop to our clothes, it can drop on our shoes, it can drop anywhere. We are not focusing more on the droplets that can spread. Particularly, we know that hunger virus can kill faster. We all know that. But the way Yorubas will say, because while we're struggling to get whatever food in terms of palliatives, in terms of what government will share, in terms of what private people will share, what happens in the process of distributing? We keep endangering ourselves. So we came up with this initiative, very simple technology, 100% homegrown, because before I became the king, I had very good access to a fabrication yard which belonged to one of the ventures that I pioneered. And I came up with youth to come up with this technology of converting liquid to fog that will be environmentally friendly, that will even come in form of droplets, but it is anti-coronavirus and anti-ailment within the... You'll see it, the way we will demonstrate it, how the droplets will just come in form of foggy manner. And the general saying in Yoruba land too is, the morning dew that we all know. Anytime we have morning dew, you can see how it makes a lot of things to be a lot easier. It comes with a lot of ease and a lot of very, very subtle thing to make the environment to be very, very friendly and not harsh. It's the same thing we're doing here. We are projecting and we've come up with the mix. We are working directly with the university, Obafemi Awolowo University. We are working directly with a lot of professionals. One of them just spoke now. We came up with a solution that is even locally sourced, that can easily kill coronavirus from the droplet mode. So therefore, we cannot fold our hands. This is our own little way to give back to our leaders in the political scene, they are trying their best. Every day you will see them on top of their toes, giving us updates, what is happening, how they are sharing this, how they are opening several isolation centers, how they are running up and down. We should not all sit down too. We should always remember that what can we give back to Nigeria, not what Nigeria will give back to us. And it is another initiative to promote homegrown. This time around, it's a very great opportunity, I keep saying it. For the first time in history of this country, everybody will be on lockdown. Either you are rich or you are poor, or you are a leader. You can't go anywhere. So let us start thinking inwardly, how we can better the lot of everybody, how we can promote our own. If we don't promote our own, nobody will promote anything for us. It's very important that we see how to advance this technology by virtue of advancing this technology, because after coronavirus, the world will never be the same again. Everybody will continue to live in fear. Everybody will be much more hygienic. Everybody will be very, very conscious of their environment. And as we know ourselves in our society, we like to come together. You will see us gathering in churches and mosques. You will see us going to parties. You will see a lot of gathering here and there, pockets of gathering. But this initiative can easily work around. Is a modular technology that can be placed on any movable vehicle, and it will just spread and splash the whole environment, and at the same time it will kill all the coronavirus or any other ailment that is airborne that has been dropped on our clothes. And by virtue of doing that, we have actually covered what has happened by washing our hands with hand sanitizer that is alcohol based. We are doing sanitizing the environment and sanitizing our clothes. On this note, we're here to present 2 modular motorized sanitizers and fumigators to the government of the entire Ogun State and the good people of Ogun, for them to use effectively to disinfect, to actually clean the society, to clean the system, and to clean the air and fumigate the whole system. On this note, thank God Almighty for everything you're doing. It's a great opportunity to achieve, to acknowledge, and to register all the good things that you're doing, your great achievement so far. God will continue to bless you and bless Ogun State and bless the entire Southwest and bless the entire Nigeria. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Kabiyesi, Imperial Majesty, Editor Ogunwusi, the Oni of Ilefe. At this point, I'd like to invite His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State. Oh, okay. Before His Excellency will have his response, we'll have a demonstration of the materials being handed over to the Ogun State government, and we will see actually how it works.
lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa Kabiyesi Imperial Majesty Ooni ti Ilẹ̀-Ifẹ̀ fún àwọn ohun tí ẹ fi ran ìjọba lọ́wọ́ láti rí i pé adójúkọ kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà ní àárín wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ àgbàgbé ohun tí ìjọba ní ká máa ṣe ká fààyè sílẹ̀ fúnra wa, ìyẹn social distancing. Ká má gbàgbé nínú ìpéjọpọ̀ báyìí kárí pé à ń tẹ̀lé. At this point, I'd like to officially invite the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR, who will respond to this beautiful and laudable initiative coming from His Imperial Majesty, and to officially receive the motorized modular fumigator donated to the Ogun State government. Please don't forget the social distancing. Don't forget the social distancing.
Yola. Yola. I have a message. Let's all come back now. So there's no space for everybody to come back. They were saying there's not there's space, there's no fight.
Your Excellency, the Governor of the State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR. The microphone, you have it, sir.
Kabiyesi, adé apẹ́ lórí o, bàtà apẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ á pọ̀ láàfin. Ikú a máa kéde ikú o, ẹ̀yin a máa kéde ẹ̀yin. Kabiyesi, ẹ pẹ́ fún wa. Kabiyesi, you are the custodian of the Oduduwa culture, tradition, and heritage. You have always demonstrated that you are a 21st century Kabiyesi. You are very passionate about the cause of the Yoruba race. You are also very passionate about the welfare of your people. You are very endowed with a lot of wisdom. I have been your friend before I became governor. I've had the privilege of interacting with you on several fronts, both personal and official. And you've always displayed your depth in both Christianity, Islam, and our traditional practice. And you find a way of finding a nexus between all of them. You have a way of interpreting all of them. Kabiyesi, I can only say that on behalf of the government and the good people of this state and the entire people of Yoruba land, we continue to be very proud of you. You today have come to support us in this rather difficult period of history. This is a time like we've never seen. At least not in my own lifetime. We are aware that something like this had happened in other lifetimes when there was a previous pandemic. But in my lifetime, in my generation, this is something that we never thought we could ever experience, where the whole world is gripped by an affliction that has defied modern technology, that has made the greatest of countries, that have turned them into countries that appear as if they're not first world. It's been a pandemic that has become a leveler of all nations, to the point where even we that were called the emerging market or developing nations are being seen to be in better control of this situation. God indeed has ways of humbling all of us. Your Royal Majesty, you've risen up to the occasion as usual. This is not the first time that you visited with us in Ogun State. Each time you visit, you always come with something. You always visit, you share with us your words of wisdom, and you also always leave us with a gift. And that gift is always significant of something. You've come at this time when we are all looking up to God, when we're all doing our utmost best to look at how to contain and manage this virus. We in Ogun State, we have enjoyed being